somebody who has stayed back in India versus you who went to US for 7 years and then came back, what would you say is the difference in terms of your wealth generated?
5 to 10 times for sure. There is one small catch. When you go on a student visa, after your graduation, within 2 months, if you don't find a job, you don't get to stay in the US.
For the average tuition fees right now to get a master's degree in the US is about 1 crore.
With the Indian salary, with the starting salary that you will get, you can't even pay the interest, forget paying the loan.
Really? That's how bad it is?
Yeah, it is.
Damn.
So they have these treaties with UK, with Canada, with Sri Lanka, with Pakistan, Bangladesh, but not with India.
People from Sri Lanka and Pakistan can do this?
Yes.
And India can't?
No.
Because of our sheer population?
Don't fight with me. I didn't make the law.
You're going to have to wait for like 50 years to get your green card.
And the wait also might go up to 100 years.
So I can't be having kids in the US if this is the plan. Is there any hack which most people don't know about?
Yes, there is.
Please share.
All right. So,
are there any success stories that you can share?
I went to US, I did my MBA, I worked for a university in Boston, and after 7 years, I've moved back to India.
Somebody who has stayed back in India versus you who went to US for 7 years and then came back, what would you say is the difference in terms of your wealth generated?
So it's quite significant, 5 to 10 times for sure.
5 to 10 times more.
Easily, yes.
So what are those countries that people are most interested to settle down in forever?
So number one country always has been US, it is still US.
I mean, there are statistics saying that, you're going to have to wait for like 50 years to get your green card. So is that like...
So that's true. And the wait also might go up to 100 years.
Okay.
But that is H1B, the work permit to green card.
Okay.
But people can invest and get an EB5 based green card, which is 1.5 to 2 years.
Why don't you just break down this EB5 visa? Because all of us know that getting a green card in the US is quite hard.
So the EB5 is a program. EB5 is not a visa.
Okay.
All right. So it's a route directly to get a green card. The idea is to create 10 American jobs per investor. That's the crux behind the investment program. And the law is you have to invest in a rural area or an area where it's called targeted employment area or TEA, where the unemployment rate is 150% higher than the national average. Only then the $800,000 investment is valid.
Okay.
But you still have to create 10 American jobs.
Okay.
Once you do that, that's when the US government says that yes, because you're feeding 10 families, because of you 10 families have roof over their head, we are giving you and your family a green card.
Interesting. So you need 7-8 crores to give 10 jobs in the US.
Yeah.
For most of our audience, that might be unachievable, right?
Correct.
Because most people don't even have not even crorepati's, right?
Right.
The average income of Indians is like $2,000, $2,500.
Right.
So is there like a much more practical way of moving to the US?
Before that, I would like to tell you what people think is the right way of moving to US if they don't have this kind of money.
Okay.
So most of the people think that they can go on a student visa, study, get OPT,
Correct.
get H1B, and eventually get a green card. It sounds so nice, so simple. But the thing is, people don't know the laws properly. So first thing is when you go on a student visa, before you graduate, after your graduation, within 2 months, if you don't find a job, you don't get to stay in the US. So you have 2 to 3 months to look for a job and come on OPT. Otherwise, you have to come back to your home country.
Okay.
That's the first hurdle people don't understand when they go. Let's assume you get OPT, you get a job. The next thing is H1B. 65,000 is a quota, global quota. From the whole world, they give 65,000 visas per year.
H1B?
H1B.
That's it?
That's it.
In the whole country of US?
Yes.
Okay.
And
how many people are competing for this 65,000?
7 to 8 lakh people apply.
So it's a 10% chance?
Not even a 10% chance to get your H1B. It's a lottery.
So, okay, less than 10% chance of converting my OPT into H1B.
Correct.
And what is H1B exactly? It just means you can renew it again and again as long as you're working.
No. So H1B is a work permit. The first time you get it for 3 years. And only one renewal is allowed for 3 more years. After that, you have to leave the country for 1 year. And then again put your name in the lottery and hope that you'll get it.
So I can't be having kids in the US if this is the plan.
So of course, there are some legal workarounds. So once you're on H1B, you are allowed to file for a green card. Once you file for a green card and after you cross a certain stage in that filing, after that, US government has to renew your H1B every year till the time you get a green card.
Acha.
But the problem is the wait is 35 to 50 years, right? So it's like forever.
So I can, by theory, I can stay there forever.
Yes.
Just that I won't be like a first-class citizen. I'll be a second-class citizen
Yes.
because I'm not a citizen.
Correct.
Interesting. So now that is the conventional route.
Yes.
Is there any hack which most people don't know about?
Yes, there is.
Please share.
All right. So US offers something called as non-cap based H1Bs. Non-cap based H1Bs. Now
Non-cap
65,000 is a cap,
Correct.
right? They don't call it quota, they call it cap.
Correct.
Outside the 65,000, there are another 20,000 H1B visas available for people who have done masters from US. Now, this is cap-based visas. Now, there are certain organizations who qualify to get H1B sponsored for their employees anytime in the year without putting their name in the lottery. So these organizations are schools, colleges, universities, hospitals, and NGOs. Not all of them qualify, but some of them do qualify. It's not easy to get a non-cap based H1B because the employer a lot of times thinks that you might be using their organization just to stay.
Get a job, just to stay in the country.
Correct.
So what are these kind of companies again? Like you said, hospitals and
Schools, colleges, universities, hospitals, and NGOs.
Can you like name some colleges or hospitals or whatever? You can't name them.
No.
Why?
No, I mean, okay, Harvard, MIT, Stanford, Yale.
So if you get employed by these kind of colleges,
absolutely.
you can, it's easier for you to get the H1B visa because then there's no lottery.
Yes.
And no private companies?
No private companies.
Like Google, Facebook,
Not at all.
Microsoft? No.
So what they do is if they know they need 100 employees, they file 1,000 H1Bs.
Okay.
So they give so many number of jobs out of which they know that 5-10% only will get the H1Bs.
Then what is
So
this?
there is one visa called E2 visa.
What is this E2 program?
Now that's a business visa where you can set up a company in US and you start running it and the whole family gets a E2 visa. There is no minimum investment required. There is no minimum job creation required. Like EB5 has minimums for both. There is one small catch.
Okay.
Indians don't qualify to even apply for E2.
Okay, why?
So US has to have a treaty with individual countries where those countries' citizens become eligible to file for E2 visa. So they have these treaties with UK, with Canada, with Sri Lanka, with Pakistan, Bangladesh, but not with India.
Why?
Because there is no minimum investment requirement, right? So $50,000 and half India will go to US.
So even China is not part of this?
No, China is not a part of this.
So with just $50,000, if you set up a business and there's no criteria of how many employees and all of that, it could just be like a digital business. You're a one-man person.
Yes.
And you can get that visa.
Absolutely.
And people from Sri Lanka and Pakistan can do this.
Yes.
And India can't.
No.
Because of our sheer population.
Don't fight with me. I didn't make the laws.
Okay. So
I'll tell you a workaround.
Okay, there is another workaround. Okay.
Yeah. Which used to be an amazing workaround couple of years ago, where Indians would file for a Caribbean passport. In 2 to 3 months, you would get a Caribbean passport.
Meaning I become a citizen of
a Caribbean country called Grenada, because that's the only country that has E2 treaty with the US.
Grenada.
It's next to Barbados.
Okay.
So that West Indies.
So within 2 months, I can be a citizen of that country.
Yeah. Now it's 6 months, but that time it was 2 months.
Okay.
And in 6 weeks, you would get E2 visa. So I would have helped so many people get to US in a very, very inexpensive way. But then US figured what Deepesh was doing. and they changed their laws now. So now, even if you get a Grenada passport, you have to establish a residency with that country for 3 years or more.
Okay.
Only after that you can do
So basically, if I am an Indian, I don't have $1 million to invest in the US. I still want to go to the US. So first you're telling go to Grenada, become a citizen over there.
Yeah.
It takes me 6 months.
And $300,000.
And $300,000, so that's about 2 crores,
Yes.
which is still much lesser than 7 crores.
Yes.
So then I live there for 3 years, enjoy the beaches.
You don't live there. You live in India. Just go, come, whatever.
Okay,
Few trips.
go, come. And then I can maybe set up a business in the US using the, what is that, B2?
E2.
E2 visa.
Yes.
Interesting. Any other workarounds apart from this, or this is it?
No.
This is the maximum.
Yeah, this is what I can talk about.
Oh, there are. So then others are all illegal.
Huh?
Others are illegal stuff.
No. Okay, so I'll tell you a very important piece of information.
So you're worried that if you reveal this, then the US government will get to know. And
yeah.
That's how it is.
Okay, but I'll tell you one legal thing that definitely I'm helping a lot of people. So there is a tremendous teacher shortage in America. high school teachers, elementary school teachers. Tremendous shortage. In US, if you want to become a teacher, then you need a bachelor's degree in any field. You have to be fluent in English, obviously. You don't need IELTS, TOEFL, but you need to be fluent in English because you'll be teaching in English language. And third, you need a certification program from a particular state which will allow you to become a teacher. That's like a 3-month course, which I'll help people do online. And in 1 month, you give the exam. You can give the exam wherever they hold GMAT, GRE. In the same testing centers, you can go and give this exam.
Okay.
So 4th month, you qualify to be a teacher in the US. And then there are a lot of jobs available because there is a teacher shortage. Another 2 months, you can get a job. And now, remember, I told you H1B, non-cap based. So there is no quota. So then they can go to US. And the cost is not as much. So,
damn.
US is happy to get teachers because India has good quality people. We speak really good English.
Is there like a criteria that I should be teaching for at least so many years?
Not at all. Because once you go there, you'll do a 9-month internship. And after that, you'll become but it's a paid internship. You'll get proper salary.
It's a high school.
Yeah, but the salaries are between $40,000 and $55,000 per annum. So it's a good salary.
So it's like I do it for like a year?
Yes.
And then I can switch into other jobs?
Not really. You can only switch to any other non-cap based companies, which means from school to college, college to university.
So what are the other popular countries that Indians love to move to?
Canada was, and I'm saying was, a very popular country until recently. But a lot of Indians are now not happy. It's not easy to get to Canada anymore. And Canada was giving 4 to 5 lakh people PR, I don't know how many work permits. So imagine how many people went to Canada in the last few years. And now not enough jobs and, all those issues. And
okay, so Canada is out. What are the countries?
UK, again, same thing. It used to be very popular long time back, but now they are also struggling.
Okay, what are any other countries?
So a country that suddenly has sprung up is UAE. So Dubai suddenly has become very popular amongst Indians. It's about 2.5-3 hours away from most of the cities in India.
By flight?
Right? By flight. And
time difference is not that much.
Time difference is not much. You can visit your family anytime you want.
Plus 0 tax.
Right? So no income tax is a very big thing. So jobs are available because the locals don't want to work. It's a growing economy. You see the amount of construction that's going on. It's crazy.
But in terms of jobs, like, is there all kinds of job available?
It's a full-fledged country. So they need teachers, they need software engineers. In fact, I know some companies who are offering more money to software engineers than a US company is offering. Because they know that everyone is running to US. Any guy who has software skills is rushing to US. So to attract that pool, they are paying them more money than American companies. And there is no income tax.
So let's do a quick math, right? So a software engineer in India, let's say on an average, they're making about 30 lakhs per annum. That same software engineer, if they go to the UAE, how much would they be making?
190 to 200,000 dirham they'll make.
So that's about
23 you multiply. So 50 lakhs.
50 lakhs and plus 0 tax.
Zero tax.
Here,
even if they make same money, it's extra 30%, right?
And in terms of cost of living is of course significantly higher, no? Because the real comparison to do is the savings.
Yes.
So in your experience, are people able to save more living in the UAE versus living in India, considering the living cost?
They are able to save. I'll tell you why. Now, here in Mumbai, let's say you get a job in Nariman Point, you will not live in Nariman Point. You will live in Andheri.
Yeah.
Similarly, in Dubai, a lot of people, if you get a job in Burj Khalifa, let's say that building, you not live in downtown Dubai. You live a little further down, or a lot of people live in Sharjah. Cost is half. So there are ways to save money.
Okay. So that was UAE. Any other country? These are like the usual suspects,
Yes.
US, UK, Canada, Dubai. I mean, let's talk about Australia. And then, is that Australia something good?
Australia, no more because no. But again, the same issue, the country is very big. So not enough jobs to offer anymore because again, too many people who got PR, too many people who went to study and then they continued living there. So today, most of their programs, they have discontinued. Like one program, the investment-based program they have where you invest 1.2 million Australian dollars and get a PR. But in that money, you'll get a US EB5, right? Why would you go
to Australia? Yeah. So that takes out all the popular countries.
Singapore is an option, again for business. Also, Singapore once upon a time used to very easily offer residency permits, permanent residencies, even citizenships. But now it has become very difficult to get, to stay permanently. So hence a lot of people from Singapore, Australia get in touch with me that they want to either move to US or Dubai, but they don't want to continue staying in these countries.
So from what I'm understanding is that US is still the most viable option.
Always. It's a big country, lot of opportunities. Imagine if 7 to 8 lakh people applied in the H1B lottery. That means there were so many jobs given, right? Without a job, you can't apply for a H1B.
Correct.
So jobs are there. In US, there is no issue with jobs. Issue is with getting in the 65,000 quota, which is not everyone can get.
But let's look at this. Like for the average tuition fees right now to get a master's degree in the US
Right.
or most Western countries is about 1 crore.
Correct.
Now, if I can work there for only 2 or 3 years, how likely is it for me to be able to repay that loan in the time that I have? Because if I come back to India, it's going to be very difficult to pay that loan with the Indian salary.
Yes. With the Indian salary, with the starting salary that you'll get, you can't even pay the interest, forget paying the loan.
So are there many stories like that of people not being able to pay back the loan because of this situation?
Yeah, but what happens is you get education loan only against property and your parents are always guaranteed, right? So if you don't repay, your parents will have to repay, otherwise you lose the house.
So a lot of people end up in this situation.
Yes.
Damn.
I don't like it, but that's the...
So they take a 1 crore loan.
Yeah.
They would have given their property as their collateral.
Yes.
They did not get a job in the US, coming back to India.
Yes.
And then it became a huge loss, huge financial loss.
Yes, absolutely.
And there are a lot of people like
A lot of people like that. And they go with an excitement that now I'm going to settle there.
US dream.
Yes.
If you go back 10 years, the Indian dream was to go to the US, get a high paying job and settle down and live the American dream. Right? That was the Indian dream. What is the Indian dream today according to you? Because considering how bad the situation has gotten in US and UK when it comes to giving permanent residency visas, what is the Indian dream today according to you?
So the Indian dream continues to be the same. That has not changed.
People still want to go there.
It's just that so many people are dreaming the Indian dream that not everyone is able to get to it. But it's still a dream and it's a fabulous dream to have.
So let's say I'm in India, I have a health insurance and life insurance. Now, if I want to go outside India, let's say I got into the US. Now, how do I look at my health insurance? Like, do I need to get a separate one or do my Indian health insurance still apply here? Like, how do I look at that?
No. So Indian health insurance will only be applicable in India. And when somebody travels to US or any other country, I recommend them to get a travel insurance to start with. Now, that's something that covers you for a couple of months, right?
Okay.
But once you land in that country, then you have to pick a good insurance plan and then go ahead and take that insurance. Now, if you go on a student visa, the universities will have options for you.
Okay.
If you go on a work permit, the companies will have a group policy for you. But you have to buy your own insurance when you are abroad.
Got it.
Now, so there was one student, I had helped him go and he picked the cheapest possible policy.
Okay.
All right. And frankly, the difference...
For what? For the health insurance?
For the health insurance.
In the US?
In the US. And frankly, there was like a $200 difference. It was not like a $2,000 difference. But still, he picked the cheapest. And he had an issue with his teeth. He should have added dental. So no health insurance policy in US comes directly with dental. It's always a separate policy.
Add-on.
Yeah. And if you know you have a dental problem, if you know that you have more cement than teeth in your mouth, you better get a dental plan. And I had told him that, but he wanted to cut corners and he didn't. And eventually he had to shell a lot of money to get things fixed. And it reached to a point where he had to fly to India to do root canals because it was still cheaper to buy the air ticket and do it in India and go back.
Really?
But if you would have taken a proper plan, then he would have...
You're saying a root canal will cost lakhs in US?
Yeah. Or get an insurance.
All right, guys. On that note, thank you so much for watching till the end. My conclusion from talking to him is that the situation has gotten very, very hard. And I think experts like you are in the need of the hour to guide Indians as to what they should do with their career and their money. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Thank you, Sharan. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much, guys. And I'll see you in the next one.